I decided last minute to grab my fan. Why? Because it matches the logo of the season.
Yeah, I left my fan potentially 5 hours upstate. So, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Anyway. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay, today I am drinking not sponsored generic strawberry lime energy drink. Because that's where we're at today. And I'm drinking it in my lovely not sponsored by Advanced GG mug, but Lord, I wish I was. That'd be great. But if I was drinking it out of anything else, it would, of course, be in a cup mug. Oh, I don't have lights, but a panel full of cup mugs, and that's more Lana's thing than it is mine. But you could get yours and all of our other merch, including the cup bottle, the cup socks. I don't remember what else we currently have, but you could get some or all of those things at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is down in the description below. And we do ship to North America, and we're working on international shipping, so there are some excuses.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we are having issues with our international distributors. So that's fun, but...
Yay!
Woo! Love it.
So people in Fiji, you're safe, but just for now.
Lewis, you're safe for now.
Actually, would Fiji...
We ship to Fiji. If we ship internationally, we ship to Fiji.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, if we'd still ship to them anyway, if it's considered domestic. I don't know.
And no, I don't think so. I think it's just outside.
Damn. Anyway, hi, my name is Jack. I'm the resident game designer of the panel, and yeah, it's been really hard. Lost my vote. I'm just the obvious vote tonight, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna go have a breakdown in the corner for like the 5th time today.
That's fine.
Yeah. But, you know, beyond that, maybe a miracle could occur.
Yeah. So, this is gotta be one of the strangest episodes of Survivor I've watched in a long time. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say in overall review of this episode, quite frankly.
It feels like a cosmic joke of an episode where it's like, okay, we know it's about to happen. What do you mean that's what actually occurs? Like, it is a perfect setup with a horrible but kind of funny conclusion just because of the scenarios of the episode. But I mean, I still enjoyed it. Definitely felt like it was a little long, though.
Well, we're switching from the 2 hour to the hour and a half. And I will be honest, it still felt very fluffy. And this episode, I think, was not a great, transition from the 2 hour to the hour and a half because of what happens, and we'll talk about it. But
yeah, we lose the back 10 minutes of what normally happens, so it makes sense that they have to extend it somehow.
We get to an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, we're not prepping to go to tribal. What the is about to happen? And we'll talk about it, but I literally called it as the commercial break was happening before it happened. But before we dive too far in, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things reality TV. We've got currently a double dose of Survivor, at least until next week. Big Brother Canada, Amazing Race, Deal or No Deal Island, wrestling content, all that lovely stuff. So make sure to subscribe here. And you could go subscribe to both of our other channels as well, with almost all things drag and almost all things Eurovision Song Contest. So if you want to check those out, go for it. I support you. But we start this episode, and it is the
I want to say
the aftermath of the Jess vote, and Bonu wants answers, Jack.
Yeah, he really does. He's like, wait, why was there a fake idol? Like, why did I not get any of this information? And they're like, because you didn't really need to know. Like, it was either you or her. So, like, what do you think we were going to do? And Banu in this moment kind of just realizes, yeah, no, I'm dead next. I know how this goes. And such begins a lovely 3-day spiral. He does get a very small pep talk from Q saying, there's a reason we kept you here.
Yeah.
Just keep your head up. We're going to win. Nothing for you to worry about.
Yeah.
But,
well, and the point that they're all trying to make, Kenzie specifically to Banu, is that if they had told him about, or if Banu had told Jess about the plan, which he probably would have, Jess would have played her shot in the dark, and there's the potential that Banu could have been collateral damage. And so I get that, perspective, whatever. They wake up the next day. He goes idol hunting. Wants to work with me, but won't throw out a name to Kenzie. It's like a whole mess of a situation. And Kenzie kind of just clocks him and is like, Banu might love this game, but I don't think he understands how to play this game.
Yeah. He's a Survivor super fan, but for the personalities. He is not someone who's really getting the strategic game of it, or kind of the social game of it, because he's just always over the top, and he's getting hit pretty hard because of it.
Yeah. But then he also, while Kenzie is clocking him for his lack of gameplay, he's kind of doing the same, saying that she presents herself as this sweet person, but then calls her a mermaid dragon.
Specifically, the top half is human and the bottom half is a dragon. Mermaids.
Mermaid dragon.
Top half is a human and the bottom half is a fish.
Is a dragon.
I was like, what? What are you actively saying?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people calling him the worst casting choice in years. And to that I say, but are you not entertained? Because I sure am.
Such a wreck.
I laughed more last night watching Survivor than I have in a very long time. And most of that is due to Banu.
Yeah.
And then we obviously have to show the other tribes, because it's not just the Yanu show, even though it kind of is. They got more confessionals. Did you see this? The 4 of them got more confessionals than every other person on this season in last night's episode.
Oh, yeah. And Banu specifically not only doubled his confessional count for the season so far, but also had the most ever confessionals in an episode, in the 3rd episode of any season, which does make sense. This whole episode is kind of revolving around him.
Yeah. But to check in on, the other people, we got a flashback a couple of days ago when Sega decided to go on a full group idol hunt.
Because they can.
So we went from Taylor Swift versus Aerosmith to group idol hunting. And
full
we find
kumbaya.
out that full kumbaya. And we find out that Jem is the one to find the Beware advantage. So now all 3 Beware advantages have been found. I like Jem. I'm glad that she has it, but she doesn't have a vote.
Yay.
Now, if we're counting people currently that don't have a vote, no vote counter, 2 people currently do not have a vote. It will
Not
fluctuate throughout
nearly
this
as
episode.
yay.
Yeah, and that's literally all we see from Siga.
Because it's literally irrelevant otherwise for
Yeah.
the entire episode.
Yeah. We do get some interesting stuff on Nami, and this is where we start with the Randon storyline for the episode, where he wakes up with what appears to be a pinched nerve, which means he cannot compete in the challenge, basically.
His whole right hand is just numb. He can't feel anything in it. It's
That
gone.
sounds terrifying.
Oh my god, to wake up and go, huh, that's strange.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, that just to be clear, this injury will not come up later at all. This is just like a one-off.
Absolutely not.
The more important story on Nami, though, is Hunter and his crazy shit.
I thought Carson Garrett was wild.
This is like a whole LRG setup at this point. Like,
he could run an LRG out
without problem.
He does. He runs a Survivor game. Like, why is he not one of us?
I don't, like, he went from, like, yeah, I'm going to be a medical stool to, okay, I'm going to, like, substitute teach. And then Survivor got involved somehow? Like, I don't understand this. And then he was like, you know what? I'm just going to be a physics teacher.
I don't remember how... I don't know if he said anywhere in his preseason press or, like, at this point, how many times he's auditioned. But if this isn't the first time he's auditioned, I would genuinely be curious as to why they hadn't cast him already.
My guess is genuinely because they probably did want to cast him and maybe saw him during 44 and were like, too similar to Carson. We're going to pass you for another season. Let me see if I can just look that up. I mean, the only other major thing that comes from this is the fact that Venus immediately is like, oh, wow, he's really helping everyone out and making a portable bed. He's a reasonable threat and has to go, which is not a bad assumption to make.
But most people are like, no, I don't want to target him. Venus is the only person pitching Hunter as her target. Because she's saying that he is kind of the mastermind, even though it might seem like it's either Tevin or Soda.
Yeah.
And I will say a couple episodes in now, I'm liking Hunter. I think he's obviously got all of the Survivor knowledge to be very successful in this game. And I also think he understands how to play a low-key game and not reveal that he's a super fan. Which a lot of super fans, unfortunately, don't have the tact to execute properly. So I'm intrigued to see how he's going to do.
So, just a quick note on the what he has here.
Wait, Jack, do you mean this is time for a Jack fact?
You're damn right it is.
Yeah!
So, based on his bio, he was introduced to Survivor as a senior in college. He is currently only 27. So realistically, this is at most 5 to 6 years ago. That's 5 to 6 years being introduced.
Okay.
Then making the stuff. So realistically, he got beat out by Carson by like a couple seasons, and they were not.
I was gonna say, yeah, he probably, like, at most he's probably applied like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So he's only really probably been a new era applicant. Which, hey, I mean, I'm happy he's on now, but great. Thanks, Jack.
Great. You're welcome.
We go to the immunity challenge, and we're only halfway through the episode, and we're at the immunity challenge, and I'm like, the fuck is happening? Like, what?
Things are about to break down.
It's swim, obstacle, and then the final part of the challenge, which is truly the great equalizer in this challenge, is the sandbag toss up to the hanging platforms.
I want to say the last time we saw this was 41.
I thought they had it in 45.
They might have also had it in 45, and I forgot. But
I don't remember. I'm going to look it up a little bit, but you talk about this challenge.
If you do not remember it, it is the infamous challenge where JD repeatedly screamed money, failed to get beanbags on a pole, and Shan immediately in confessional laughter said, "We're going to tribal."
Oh my god, I forgot.
Just modern art. Surprisingly, Yanu was holding their own in this challenge. Like, they're getting it together. Nami, in traditional Nami fashion, is destroying it. In fact, we even get to see more of Hunter's ingenuity, where he basically yells at Tevin, okay, you get on this spinner. He's like, just get on it and then help me over. And as such, Hunter just grabs Tevin's leg and just... I mean, what the fuck kind of procedure? But also, of course, a physics teacher would know to immediately do that.
Oh, that hack was one of the best things I've ever seen on Survivor. Like, it was so good to me. Looking at
Prettium,
the challenge,
you're fucking welcome.
Literally. Oh, if this doesn't pop up in Prettium, I'm gonna be so mad. And I know he's already working on the video. I know he's already working on it.
I'm already working on it. Don't worry.
He's already on it. Don't worry. So the history of this challenge that I'm seeing specifically is talking about it's called Blue Lagoon Bustle, but it's specifically talking about the first part of the challenge and not the second part of the challenge. But the first part of this challenge, as we've seen it, the last time we saw it was actually on Winners at War.
Huh.
So that's the last time that the Blue Lagoon Bustle part was played, was on Winners at War. As far as the sandbag, you're mentioning JD, and I remember that being a different challenge. A similar like throwing thing, but I remember it being not sandbags. But again, I'm not the Survivor historian. That's David, and he's currently out traveling doing something. So
yeah.
But I want to say they literally did this last season. But again, I don't know.
I trust you on that. And if you're wrong, I blame you.
I'm probably wrong. Don't listen to what I have to say. But yeah, so Nami's struggling. And Hunter, and I don't like comparing anyone to this man, but Hunter pulls a full Jonathan from Survivor 42 and literally strong arms the entire back half of this challenge to win outright the challenge. Not even second place.
I think he missed 3 times out of 8 shots. Like,
literally.
It was impressive. It was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're done. We'll go home now.
And the whole time, my favorite part is all of the words and names that Soda was using on the sit-out bench to describe her tribe. She was like, "You beautiful, lovely humans, you've got this." Love Soda. I think Soda's doing too much, but I love Soda. And I honestly don't think she's going to have to worry about a pre-merge tribal. Because I honestly, if there's no swap, I don't see Nami going to a tribal council. Like, I really don't.
I think there's eventually going to be a swap. I mean, this upcoming episode,
I think there's
could
going to be a
see
swap next episode.
Yeah.
I think based on the trailer that we got, I think there's a swap next episode.
Yeah.
Hey, a swap with 555. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that at all. But yeah, so it comes down to Siga and Yanu, and it comes down to Charlie versus the collective effort of Tiffany and Q. And I think the collective effort of Tiffany and Q is why they didn't win this challenge.
Yeah.
Like, they talked a lot about, like, why they didn't win. And, hi, shocker. Guess what, y'all? Nami and Siga win the challenge. After Yanu was doing so well. Like, truly the best performance they've had in a challenge so far.
And then they got equalized to shit.
They got equalized because I don't think Tiff or Q were giving themselves enough opportunities to learn the throw. Yeah. And specifically learn the throw on any one of the specific platforms. I think if each of them had taken a few extra shots at each one of the targets, I think they would have been able to get it. And I honestly think they squeak out over Charlie. But because Charlie was the only person shooting the sandbags, he had that consistency and he learned what he needed to do. And he was able to pull it out over Yanu.
Yeah.
So.
But there's a little bit of a difference here. Yeah. Uh-oh, it's journey time.
It's time for a journey, kind of. There's not as much walking this time. And Nami gets to choose who goes. So they pick Liz. And then seemingly Liz, I don't know if there was a conversation about it. It would be so cunty if Liz was just the one to... She's like, I'm choosing this person, regardless of what my tribe wants. But they pick Ben, and they pick Banu to go on the journey. And we go to the journey, and it's a bit of a twist. It's not the same journey we got in episode 1, which, sure. But the task at the journey is... all 3 of you will pull rocks out of this bag. 2 of you, by random rock draw, will then compete in a competition. You don't have a choice. And if you win, you get an advantage. And if you lose your vote at the next tribal. Why are we preventing people from voting on Survivor?
And also, why are we putting it down to literal random chance again?
And why do they have no choice on whether they compete or not?
Yeah, no, this is a weird one because it feels like it's a defense to, well, we don't know if someone actually like gets anything good on a journey. They could have just gotten nothing. Great. You took away people's agency to do that. Like it doesn't work.
No, and it really didn't work because the 2 people that pulled their rocks were Banu and Ben. And you want to know what? They both failed the challenge. And this was not an easy challenge either. Like, if you are someone who does not have great 3-dimensional spatial awareness, you are not going to do well at this challenge.
You're not going to solve it in time. Like, 100% you're not.
Like,
it's...
So now at this point, 4 people, a quarter of the remaining contestants on this season of this show, don't have a vote. And it would have been 5 had Tiffany not already found her idol. I'm just like, I don't like this. The first journey, I liked that. Because there was a level of manipulation and there was a level of gameplay to that. This just feels like the challenge. I don't want Survivor to feel like the challenge.
You could have literally just drawn the rocks there and had Liz walk back immediately. There was no reason for any of the players to look at each other and know that the other people were there, except for the fact that they could have been there.
Yeah. But
well, one other thing that just happens, you know.
Oh, yes, because, oh boy, were they there. I have to be so honest and genuine. And I mean no disrespect to Bonnie when I say this, because I think he is probably a lovely person outside of this game. I have not laughed so hard at anything that happened on Survivor as to when my roommate and I were cackling at Bonu just going off, spilling all of his secrets, which I love too, that before the journey, they cut to Yanu, and all three of them are complaining about how they know for a fact that Bonu is about to go spill all of everything that's happened in the tribe to Ben and Liz. And he's about to tell them everything, and they're about to go back and tell their tribes absolutely everything that they learned. And they did. And they did. And they did.
Oh my fucking god. It just kept going. And
at one point, he's on his knees in front of the platform with the rocks. He's sitting in the sand. And then everyone is sitting in the sand. And he is just going on the tangent of all tangents, talking about how much he wanted to be here and how much he loves this game and how he's on the bottom of his tribe and everyone's targeting him. And they made a fake idol for Jess. And I know that this was such an emotional and cathartic moment for him in the moment. But as a viewer of this TV show, I could not stop laughing.
It felt like what would be a parody of a Survivor journey.
Literally. How long do you think this went? Because they did have to crossfade it.
If I had to take a guess, at least a good 30 minutes, and it
I was going to say at least half an
stopped.
hour.
It probably only stopped because their producers were like, "You really need to draw rocks."
Okay, we're wasting sunlight. Okay, we need to chop here.
We need to do like something else on another beach really quick. Can y'all just like speed it up? And
don't worry. Leave one cameraman here for the aftermath. We'll go film, whatever Siga's doing, even though we're not going to show it. Like, because it doesn't matter. Yeah. It really doesn't matter.
And the funny thing about this is we find out later, they probably already knew what was going to happen right after this by the time they got there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just letting Bonu fully break down and be like, this is it. This is the end. This is going to be my last tribal. While fully knowing what the fuck is about to go down. Which just, I mean, so weird in just like all ways. But we do move on to the actual rock drawing. Bonu is praying for a miracle of him getting that white rock and just being able to walk out. Liz gets the white rock. She goes, and both Ben and Bonu fail. Okay. And the best part about this, we have no idea what that advantage was. And we never will.
It seemed like it was just an idol.
Maybe. Either it was an idol.
I'm going to just assume it was an idol.
It was an idol or an extra vote or like something. But of course, we just know it as a tied up bundle of paper.
So they all go back to their tribes. And obviously Liz has nothing to lie about because her time there was inconsequential. She picked a white rock and she got to just go get on a boat. Ben kind of tells the whole story, doesn't say that he's lost his vote. And Bonu straight up lies to his tribe And it like takes the perspective of the Liz role. And then separately also tells Q that he doesn't have a vote.
And in all circumstances, this is actively the worst move. I mean, I think no matter what, Banu gets voted out here. There's no recovery unless he can't even find the idol because it's already gone. There is nothing in these woods to help him.
Well, so the only thing, and the thing that like they played on to like be like, oh, are they gonna not vote out Banu? Is we get a conversation with Banu and Q is kind of realizing, maybe
just was right.
maybe we can keep. It's more like the demon we know versus the devil we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know what Banu is up to. We know what Banu does. We don't know Kenzie's full potential. I honestly think they were going to go to tribal and vote out Kenzie. In my gut, and we see Tiffany going back and forth with this. Yeah. I think in my gut, I think they vote out Kenzie. And then if they have to go back to tribal again, they're going to pull a Malcolm and Denise and vote out Banu. They're going to pull a Shannon Ricard and vote out Banu. Because that's the easy vote. And honestly, Banu is a bit more valuable in challenges right now than Kenzie is. It's very close. But I honestly think in my gut, Kenzie would have gone home here. And I haven't seen any exit press. I'm very interested to see both Tiffany and Q's exit presses when they happen to see if this is brought up, to see what they would have done. That's kind of the one thing I'm looking forward to the most, is seeing what happens with that. Obviously, none of this ends up mattering.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what was going to happen at Yanu, Jack, because with 10 minutes left in the episode, the fact that we're not at tribal, I was like, well, Randon's getting medevaced. And guess what happened, Jack? Randon got medevaced.
It turned from, it might be like a pinched nerve to, so I talked to a neurosurgeon.
A neurosurgeon.
Oh my God.
You might have a bulging disc, which we have now since heard from both production and Randon that it was just a pinched nerve.
Yes. But there is an important note there, and it comes specifically from Mike Bloom.
Yes, thank you, Mike. We appreciate you.
Randon had to go through weeks of therapy to fully get himself back into recovery.
Yep.
He probably still would have been a challenge liability. And realistically, based on the next episode, he might have just been voted out anyway. Probably. So, unfortunately, this does mean that if your name is anything close to Brandon, if you go on Survivor, you are fucked. Completely fucked.
Did you see the tweet that was like, if I had a nickel for every time a new era bearded man from an orange tribe got medevaced to save a wild and insane purple tribe, I'd have 2 nickels. And it was Matthew from, what was that, 44?
David versus Goliath.
No.
Although that also fits.
Well, yeah, no, remember Matthew that fell off the rock?
Oh my God.
Was that 44?
That was 44.
Yeah, Matthew that fell off the rock is the one that I'm referring to here. Because it was specifically new era, and it was like, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's wild that it's happened twice. Literally same tribe color, similar situation, and also a purple tribe that was going off of the rails.
Yeah. And funnily enough, the last time this happened, And I'm going to double check my own notes here. But, yeah. The last time this happened was the premiere of David versus Goliath, where Pat gets his back broken by a fucking wave and goes home. Granted, that time the Orange Tribe was going to vote, but if we had a nickel for every single time a man with a beard on an Orange Tribe got medevaced, we would have 3 nickels, which is just a little bit more concerning. And this is also the second time Tribal is fully canceled. Originally, Tribal was only canceled because it was someone on the tribe that got eliminated. Here it isn't, and there's probably a good reason why.
And I love that Jeff walked in to tell Yanu as Tiff and Banu were having an emotional conversation where I think Tiff was going to be convinced to not vote out Banu, just for Kenzie and Q to walk up, for Jeff to go, well, it seems like I interrupted a very passionate conversation between Tiff and Banu. And I'm like, Jeff.
Shut up.
Shut up, Jeff. Do we think, and I feel like I know the answer to this, do we feel like Randon is going to be invited back for 47?
I want to say no.
I don't think he's going to either, based on the precedent of Matthew.
Yeah. I think okay. So this is something that I will always argue. Matthew took himself out by doing something so stupid that I can see why they might bring back Randon, but there's a hard but there. The reason they brought back Bruce is because he was taken out by a production issue 12 hours in. Randon's body just fucking hates him.
Yeah. And I think it's also similar to why they haven't brought, like, Jackson back.
Yeah. Which...
So many new era men getting medevaced. That's 4 in 6 seasons.
Was Jackson also on an Orange Tribe? Oh, God. I think he was.
Well, what Bruce wasn't.
Yeah. But what is it with Orange... with bearded men...
if you're a bearded man on an Orange Tribe...
Pray. You're gonna
in the new era, you're getting medevaced. Sorry, babe.
Just die.
Sorry, babe.
Nothing you can do.
Oh no, it wasn't 41. What season was it then? 42?
42. And yes, it was the Orange Taku.
No, no! God damn it.
Oh my... What kind of conspiracy have we figured out?
I don't know. I really don't understand it.
But
okay. But yes, Randon is medevaced. You know, I wasn't the world's biggest fan of Randon based on what we saw, but I wanted Venus to have an ally.
Yeah,
and I never want to see anyone medevaced for any reason, so I do feel bad. At least he wasn't first out, so his daughters couldn't have their first out party for him. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that? Oh, no. So he talked in his preseason press about when he found out he was going to be on the show. His daughter was so convinced that he would get voted out first that she literally decided to throw a first out party for him. And it is one of the funniest things I have heard in the new era of Survivor.
I mean, the confidence to be like, yeah, no, Dad, you're going to suck at this.
Well, the first time that someone did go home from his tribe, it was him. So...
Logan, I swear to God. Directly to hell. Directly to hell.
How dare you?
But yeah, that is it for the episode.
It is.
We
And
leave
I
on
said
a beautiful note of Banu considering this being a fucking miracle, which is the darkest joke I have ever fucking heard of. Where just it's like, yeah, so someone got medevac. They could have a spinal issue for the rest of
they
their
could have a
life.
spinal
Thank
injury.
God.
I'm safe! And then Kenzie having to answer the question about the medevac. She's like, well, you know, my heart goes out to him. Is it one of her million hearts? We forgot to talk about
Maybe.
million hearts.
Yeah, we did.
Million hearts. That's all I have to really say about the matter, but just million hearts.
Million hearts.
But she's like, my heart goes out to him, but also it means this is the first win that we've gotten this season. Panic. I'm having a panic attack. I'm having a panic attack.
Good. It's so good.
It
Like,
just, this
of
episode.
course.
Oh my God.
Oh. And then next week, probably a swap. Oh my God.
And also, Banu going crazy. And Kenzie and Tiff are just like, what's going on with Banu? I'm just, God, I don't know anymore.
This was the most incredible ending to an episode where ever. There is a good note here. Venus does not get the Beware advantage from Randon. And there's a good reason behind this.
Because you can't transfer Beware advantages between players.
You can only transfer the end results.
You can transfer literally any other advantage or idol. Which
makes sense. Because...
yeah, it definitely makes sense. It's like you're losing your vote in order to get the advantage. It definitely makes sense. Randon also said in his Mike Bloom interview that he had been actually trying to get to his blazer, which is where the Beware advantage was, to give it to Venus. And I think they found out after the fact that it wasn't a transferable thing, so it wouldn't have mattered either way.
Yeah.
So if they had lost the challenge, then he could have gotten the idol, and then he could have passed the idol to Venus. So,
but unfortunately, they're just too damn good.
Yeah.
Or
and by they, I mean Hunter is just that damn good.
And also realistically, the Yanni tribe is literally playing on their 7th day without any sort of fire. And also is literally using the only 4 members that they have, while everyone else can sit out 2 people. Yeah, of course they fucking lose. But that's it. Right. Yay!
Woo!
What a weird episode. This is...
And on that note, we're going to get out of here because I don't want to... I'm going to continue to have my panic attack over the ending of this episode. So thank you for joining us for our coverage of Survivor 46. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think of this wild episode of Survivor? Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on your way out. We do greatly appreciate it as we are working our way towards 1,000 subscribers because that means monetization.
Yay!
And we greatly appreciate it. Go subscribe to our other channels. Go become a member of our channel if you want and join the tea room. Hit the join button over on our main channel or head over to Patreon. Same content, different platform. Those links are down in the description below. While you're down in the description below, you could also go follow us on our social media at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also go follow me and Jack down below as well. And you can go get your merch, including but not limited to Cut Mug, down there as well. And with all that being said, I need to get out of here because this episode was just... I don't even know anymore. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ugh. God.
It's a miracle we made it through this.
It's a miracle that we made it through with our million hearts. I swear.
Although I do feel a weird pain in my neck.
You should probably go get that checked out, even though it's not going to end up being anything serious.